Like any project, we're going to start with the design brief, but before we do, I'm just quickly going to open resources folder, and just keep in mind that more and more resources will be added here. So for example, you will be able to access the final project when we finish the design and prototyping, so you can open it and go from there and use it there. Or you can open the starting template, which we will create a bit later on in the course. But for this lesson, we are going to use the design brief template, and you can double click to open it up. And if I just click right here to open it up, you can see how it looks like. So if I zoom in a bit closer, you can see that you can enter your project name right here, who is your client, when is your deadline, company profile, so you can write a research about the company, project overview, same thing, goals and objectives, so we'll write your goals and objectives for this particular project, who is your target audience, design requirements, so what the developers require from you, and finally budget and schedule, so you can know what is your budget for this project, as well as how the schedule looks like, so when you're going to start, when you're going to finish, and finally your name here and your email right here. Now all of these layers are text layers, and you can simply double click on any of them to edit them. You can click right here to change the color of the text if you want to do that. You can change these icons, include your own. You can also change their colors by doing the same thing. And if I minimize this and open up our design brief for this project, you can see how it looks like once all the information has been entered. So if I zoom in a bit closer, you can see we have Hui e-commerce mobile app, so that is our client for this course. You can see that they own furniture shop. October 12th is our deadline, and right here in the company profile I went ahead and filled it up. So it's located in Belgrade, Serbia. It has 10 employees, so it's really a small company. They work with various designers to achieve consistency in minimal design and use of environmentally friendly materials and eco-friendly production process. So they use all traditions to make the pieces and train their employees to follow strict guidelines to protect that process. So from this you can conclude that they are a small company. They use traditional methods in production, and they use external designers as well as internal designers to create minimal design furniture and to achieve the consistency in their processes and their creation. We have project overview below. So what they want from you as a designer: they want a mobile app which should be minimal, clean, very simple and straightforward. Users are older people because products are more expensive than just regular furniture shops. So they can't read small print, and because the pieces are on the pricier side, they don't want as well. So they have the money to pay, and they don't want the app to be crowded and to be hard to navigate. They want to quickly get to the point and see the pieces inside the app. At later stage they will need a website designed, but for now they just want a mobile app. We want to start with iOS first and then switch on to Android and create that version as well. But as I said, for this first part of this project, they just want the iOS app to be created. Next up we have goals and objectives. So main goal of the app is simplicity, so the users can browse categories quickly, enter their searches with as fewer clicks as possible to get to their desired items fast. It should also contain a dedicated page for every item they sell, so the user can browse and learn a bit more about the item before purchasing. So for example, if you browse a chair, they want to create separate pages for separate chairs, and when you click on that chair from the search query, they want to be for the user to be able to learn more about the chair, about the process, about the materials they used, the colors, the pricing, sizes, and so on. So they want us to create that page, and they just then want to copy and paste items inside of that page for all other products they have on offer. Next up we have target audience. So as I said, usually older people because it's on the pricier side of the market. Gender, 60% male and 40% female. Country of residence is Serbia. City of residence is Belgrade. And I spoke with them. They might want to target particular areas of Belgrade in the next section for them, which is the marketing, email marketing and social media marketing. They want to target specific areas of Belgrade when they know that people live which have enough money to purchase their pieces. Next up we have workplace. So people are usually CEOs of companies and entrepreneurs. Media consumption habits, so they usually use Facebook and Instagram, but perhaps Instagram a bit more than Facebook, which is important for this company so they can know to focus their marketing efforts more towards Instagram than towards Facebook. And finally we have their daily habits. So day to day is running their business, short amount of time for social media consumption, and they are mostly in meetings and offices. Now this is important, as I said, for the overall design of our mobile app, as well as their marketing efforts a bit later when they come to that stage of promoting this mobile app and their business overall through social media. Finally, below we have design requirements and budget and schedule. Now for the design requirements, they are very simple. So asset dimensions and resolutions, they want to start with iPhone 10 for this project. And when we move on to Android, the dimensions will be determined later because they want to do a research and learn more about if there are Android users, which type of phone do they use, so that we can know which type of sizing should we use for Android design. File formats should be Adobe XD for the final file and PNG for assets for developers. So they want all images and all icons to be exported as PNG, but I talk with them and they want the SVG for the icons, and we are going to get to that a bit later in the course when we start exporting our assets for developers. Required color palette is provided and I'm going to show it to you. It's very basic, it's very minimal, it's very simple. Image assets to be included. They want free images for now, so we are going to use images which are free to use for both personal and commercial use, and I'm going to show you those images later. And I included most of them in the course, and you can download and use them if you open up your resources folder. And finally, associated copy documents to be included later with images. And I forgot to mention, images will be replaced later with their own images because they are using a professional photographer to make images of their pieces. So they want to have the overall layout of the app so the photographer can know which type of angles of the pieces should they shoot, so that they know a bit later when it comes the time to including final images with the developers, where should they put certain images and what types of angles should they use. So I spoke with them a bit more about how images will look like and what type of images do they want to use, so we determined that, and I went ahead and downloaded a few images just to show them and to include them in this course. And finally, budget and schedule. Time to complete iOS version is 30 days. Budget breakdown, so it's $3,000, 50% off front before the start of the project, 50% before asset delivery, so at the end of the project. Android and website price to be determined later, as I said, because we don't know at the moment how many Android devices we are going to use and we are going to design for, because they are certainly going to need a few dimensions, also Android tablets and maybe even smartwatches, and we're going to see that in the future. And finally, for the website, because we don't know at the moment how many pages will there be inside of the website, and we don't know if they want it to be responsive, if they want it to be a one-page design website. We really don't know at the moment. So timeline breakdown: planning is 5 days, research is 5 days, design is 10 days with revisions, presentation is 2 days, and we're going to include presentation as well because we want to show the presentation to their stakeholders, because there is a CEO and also a stakeholder, so they want to make sure that we are on the same track. And finally, final revisions. When they see presentation, they might want to add a few additional changes to the design, and we have 8 days for the final revision. So you can see the timeline of how everything looks like, and as I said, you can change all of this inside of the template. Here is my name, here is my email, and that's basically it for this design brief video. Next up, I'm going to show you how you can plan out this project, why it's important to plan your project, and when we do that, we're going to switch on to inspiration, mood boards, sketching, and finally wireframing of our project.